Last year, a financial manager at a mid-sized company got an email from the CEO. Urgent wire transfer, sensitive deal. Don't loop anyone else in. She moved $180,000 before anyone asked a question. The catch is, the CEO never sent that email. That's phishing, and it's not a technology problem, it's a people problem, which means awareness is the fix. I'm Steve Sciavolino, a retired FBI special agent. I spent 22 years with the FBI, fieldwork in San Francisco and Norfolk, then headquarters where I developed tools to help the FBI's most sensitive case collections in the Operational Technology Division. Then ran investigations in the FBI's Cyber Division. Today, I run IronGrid Cybersecurity, and what I'm going to share with you is what I saw from the inside. Let's talk about phishing, because it's still the number one way attackers get in. 90% of all cybersecurity incidents start with a phishing email. That number hasn't moved in years. Not malware, not a zero-day exploit, a message, and in most cases, someone clicked on it. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how these attacks work, how to spot them, and what to do when, not if, one lands in your inbox. Phishing is social engineering delivered through communication, and it doesn't always come by email. Think about the emails you open every day. Shipping notifications, IT alerts, bank notices. Attackers have spent years making theirs look exactly like those. The end game is always the same. They want the keys, your login, your credentials, a wire transfer, or just a foothold they can expand on later. We track every major breach, sophisticated malware, zero-day exploits, supply chain attacks. They made the headlines, but the door usually opened with a single email. They don't just go after executives, accounting, HR, a new hire on their first week. Every role is a potential entry point, and it doesn't stop when you leave the office. There are 5 major flavors of phishing, and they're getting more targeted every year. Email phishing is mass volume, millions of emails, hoping a percentage click. Spear phishing is targeted. They've reached you, your name, your boss, a recent project. The email looks like it belongs in your inbox. Smishing is phishing by text message. Your package is held. Click here to reschedule. Vishing is voice, a phone call from someone claiming to be IT, the IRS, or a bank. And finally, whaling goes after executives specifically. The CFO gets a message that looks like it's from the CEO asking for an urgent wire transfer. Now let's talk about the anatomy of a phish. Let's look at a real example. This email from security-alert at bankofamerica-verify.net hits a lot of marks. The domain is the first tell. Real Bank of America email doesn't come from bankofamerica-verify.net. That's an attacker-controlled domain. But on mobile, or if you're moving fast, you might miss it. The subject line does the work. Your account will be suspended in 24 hours. That pressure is intentional. It bypasses your skepticism and triggers action before you think. And the link goes somewhere it shouldn't. Always hover before you click. The URL will tell you the truth even when everything else looks legitimate. One of the easiest things to spot, and one of the most overlooked, is the greeting. Legitimate companies know who you are. They have your name in their system. Dear valued customer is a mass email telltale. Dear account holder versus hello Sarah, your order shipped. Same pattern. The personalized version shows they actually have your data. To whom it may concern is something you'd see in a legal letter, not a notification from your bank. Dear user is the laziest version of this. Real services don't call you user. If they don't know your name, they don't have your account. Treat any generic greeting as a red flag. When an email hits your inbox, here's your mental checklist. Suspicious sender domain. Hover over the from address. Does it match the real company? Urgent or threatening language. Act now or your account will be closed. Real companies don't operate that way. Links that don't match the brand. Hover before clicking. If the URL looks wrong, it probably is. Unexpected attachments, especially zip, exe, or Office files with macros. If you aren't expecting it, don't open it. Request for credentials or payment. No legitimate internal system or vendor will ask you to confirm your password by email. These aren't hypothetical scenarios. The numbers tell the story. The average cost of a single phishing breach is $4.9 million. That's not just the ransom or the fraud loss. That's incident response, legal, regulatory, and reputational damage. 3.4 billion phishing emails are sent every day. Attackers are playing a volume game, and the math says some percentage will click. 90% of breaches start with phishing. Not malware, not a zero-day exploit, a message that someone clicked on. And 60 seconds, that's the average time before the first person in an organization clicks a phishing link after it lands. 1 minute. When I was at the FBI, we worked cases where a single click shut down operations, exposed customer data, and triggered federal investigations. We're not talking about inconveniences. We're talking about events that ended careers and damaged companies permanently. Here's one concrete thing your IT team can do right now with zero effort on your part. Automatic external email tagging. Every message from outside your organization gets flagged at the server level before it hits anyone's inbox. It works in Microsoft 365, in Gmail, and on-prem Exchange. It's a simple, high-value control that reminds you to pause before you act. Paired with the awareness from training like this, that 1 second pause is often enough to stop an attack. If you found this video helpful, hit that subscribe button. I'll be covering more cybersecurity topics just like this one, breaking down the threats that actually matter to your business. And if your company needs a cybersecurity awareness program, reach out to IronGrid Cybersecurity. The link is in the description below. I'm Steve Sciavolino, retired FBI Special Agent and founder of IronGrid Cybersecurity. I'll see you on the next one.